Hello and welcome back to Football Talk, the podcast. You've got me, a very sprightly and awake Dave, and on the other end of the line, maybe not so much. Who's there? Hello, Josh.
Oh, Thiago Silva. Oh, Thiago Silva. It's Josh. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, he's here.
Do you know what I'm referencing there, Dave?
Glastonbury.
Oh, he's a man of the people.
I'm there.
Keeps his finger on the pulse.
Oh yeah, always up to date, me. Yeah. How's the head?
Might not be in England, but head's banging, stomach's churning. I went out for listeners, right? I'm not a big drinker, and I'm a celiac, so I can't drink beer. And so I went to 9 pubs last night, and in every one, I ordered a cider shandy, and the response from every single member of the bar staff was, "What? What's that?" I mean, surely I actually have to explain what it is. It's pretty obvious. No?
It's just no one ever orders it. A cider shandy. No. I mean, at least you've just united all of the podcast listeners in laughing at exactly the same time of when they've heard that.
Yeah.
Cider shandy. Yeah. Bloody hell.
I must admit, I went into some kind of proper pubs, and then with proper pub people in it, and I was like, oh, do I have to order a cider shandy? In my head I was like, oh, should I do something different? No, going for it. And then it's like, oh dear, I'll drink this outside.
Oh well, it's good that you're still here even with hangover in tow.
Yeah.
And then obviously we're still in we're still in the time of transfers rather than actual football being played. But there is also news going on. I'm going to start us off, Josh, with some football news today.
Hit me.
And it is the fact that the mighty Peter Crouch has retired from football.
2 metre Peter.
2 metre Peter. How do you take it? What's your highlights? Obviously, I know you're a big fan of the podcast, so is he? I assume he's going to carry on his podcast now he's retiring. But
when you said that, I was like, "Do you mean our podcast?" I'm a big fan of our podcast. Yeah, I love his. I mean, I love a bit of Peter Crouch, and to be honest with you, I'm surprised it took him this long to retire because it really seemed like he was just going through the motions. I mean, he started doing more media work, say, with his podcast. And his last stint at, was it Burnley, wasn't it? It was like forgettable overall. So yeah, I'm not surprised he's retired, to be honest with you. But some fond memories of Peter in a Spurs shirt, but also I think he kind of unites fans. I don't think many people dislike him, so I think I'd like to think that everybody's got a soft spot for him. If we're proactive, we should probably done that as a poll. But just is there anyone who just dislikes Peter Crouch? Just let us know.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think there can be that many people that dislike Peter Crouch. I think that's what's allowed him to go into the podcast that he does, because he's quite well liked by fans of all different nations. And I think he was the classic, in an England shirt, he was always like the classic underdog, wasn't he? You always wanted him to do really well because he looked like he shouldn't be there. And he generally did quite well for
throughout his career, I reckon.
Yeah. I always thought he'd be a player that dropped down the leagues, though. I thought he would have gone to a bit of a lower league standard and dropped down the divisions. But so
what is a glowing reference to him is the amount of social media posts I've seen from ex-players who played with him, and they are all just like, what a player on a pitch and what a guy off it. And sometimes you don't have anything, like someone retires and you don't see anything. But I've just seen posts of just ex-players who've gone, oh, he's a great guy to play with, and that's got to be lovely for him to see.
Yeah, it does sound very glowing, but I thought that would be a good prominent bit of news to start with. So, Josh, what else have you got for us?
Oh, Arsenal. Laurent Koscielny refuses to go on tour. What a tool.
Yes. Whether you want to leave the club or not, as club captain, you have to go on tour. It's just ridiculous. I mean, even Pogba doesn't really want to be at United, and he's still going on tour with Man United, and he's not club captain. So, I mean, it just shocked me.
It's very out of character throughout his career. I don't remember hearing any kind of unprofessional behaviour from him. He always seemed like the absolute pro, really. But then this is just like, because he wanted to be released from his contract, didn't he? I think Arsenal extended his contract by a year with the automatic extension.
Yeah.
And he was a bit like, oh, okay, that's happened, is it? Because he wanted to go back to France, and now he's just he's asked to be released from his contract, and no, it's like, well, you can be like someone can buy you, but maybe like he's had contact with clubs he wants to go to, can't afford him or something. I don't know, but
Yeah, so
he's acted very poorly.
yeah, rumour is Bordeaux, I think, have made contact with him, and he sort of wants to go back to France. But his conduct has been abysmal. And it's like Ian Wright's come out. I think it's either today when you guys are waking up, or it might have been yesterday, that Ian Wright came out and said it's going to tarnish his sort of reputation for his whole career at Arsenal. It's just, for your club captain to come out and say, I'm not going. Have they already left and he definitely hasn't gone? He didn't show up, or are they?
Yeah, he didn't turn up to the flight, I think. Yeah,
okay.
He's not there.
Bloody hell.
But it's just, I mean, that would, I mean, imagine Unai Emery is fuming because they probably had transfer plans. Like they're linked with Saliba, aren't they? Young centre back, but was to loan him back. So they probably were. I mean, they probably want to offload Mustafi. I mean, I can't imagine why they wouldn't want to. Holding's injured. I think. Is it the Greek guy? I'm not gonna. I mean, we got criticised. You got criticised last week for absolutely hammering some names.
Mavropanos, that one.
I'm gonna go for it this. I was gonna say I'm gonna go for it this week. Mavropanos. Yeah, but now it completely right. So now Koscielny wants out. I thought he was going to be part of my centre back pairing. It's like, and already on a tight budget, seemingly signed no one so far. I imagine Emery's got a bit of a headache like I have.
Yeah, yeah, but for very different reasons.
Yeah, he hasn't been on the old side of Shandy's.
Yeah, but I mean that was a quite interesting one in the news. I mean, we're going to touch on transfers later, but obviously Griezmann has now been completed, the move and everything. So we'll touch on a bit more.
Although it's not fully, there's something there's a little bit of afters there, so we'll touch on that a bit later.
Yeah.
Newcastle fans. I mean, I'm not sure this is good news. It's news though. So apparently Steve Bruce is in talks to become manager. Boyhood Newcastle fan, was Sunderland manager a few years back. Currently at Sheffield Wednesday, but apparently he's out for the job.
after being turned down by Big Sam.
Yeah, Big Sam going, oh yeah, never go back. Yeah, Sam, that normally applies when you've had successful time there before.
Yeah,
like never go back to the ex-girlfriend or something. But normally because it was maybe a long relationship, or it maybe ended badly, but there was some highs. There was no highs at Newcastle. It was just kind of just forgettable. So I don't see why he couldn't go back. But
I mean, it just
Steve Bruce is one of two managers to manage over 250 Premier League games, but have a win percentage below 30%.
Who's the other?
Brian Robson.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. I mean,
that's Fergie's legacy.
Yeah. It does show how much Newcastle were punching having Rafa Benitez when you link to Steve Bruce, and I think was it Dave Moyes was up there as well as being linked as a target or a potential favourite for the job, and it's incredible to think of it as a Newcastle fan that you're going to go from Rafa Benitez to Steve Bruce, and I think give Steve Bruce the job. See Newcastle really struggle.
Just in case people don't know, I feel like it'd be remiss of me to not mention that Steve Bruce is a published author, in case anyone's not aware. You're aware of this, Dave?
No.
Well, okay. So it was back in probably. He's not written anything for ages. I think it was about the 2000s. He wrote a trio of novels: Striker, Sweeper, and Defender. The books focused on a fictional manager, Steve Barnes. Based on Bruce, obviously, who solved murder mysteries and thwarted terrorists.
No way.
Yeah.
Have you read them?
God, no.
Are you gonna? I feel like I have to. I feel like you should. I feel like you should read it. Like read, maybe where you can get on on Amazon, like on a Kindle, you can get a free couple of pages or something to read of a book.
Yeah.
Before you buy it, I think you should read them, Josh, and then review each one. Like the pages
I
you've
thought
read.
You were about to say we should have a spin-off special podcast where I just do an audio book.
That would now you've mentioned it.
This week, Striker.
I think if you've got a Kindle or something and you've got a bit of time, on the toilet or whatever, have a quick read of his 3 pages.
Has anyone read any of Steve Bruce's novels? And let us know if I mean. They're not going to be good.
Yeah, let us know if they're any good. Let us know if they're as bad as we think they're going to be. That's probably the better way to phrase it. So, yeah. How many clubs has Steve Bruce managed? Do you know off the top of your head?
Do you know?
Yeah.
I would say 7?
10. He's managed 10 clubs.
10.
Sheffield United, Huddersfield Town, Wigan, Crystal Palace, Birmingham, Wigan again, Sunderland, Hull City. Oh, so 9. Aston Villa and Sheffield Wednesday. So yeah.
Soon to be 10.
Who's the highest goal scorer under his management? Ex-Spurs player.
Darren Bent.
It is Darren Bent, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, his leading strike force really doesn't read very well. Darren Bent, Abel Hernandez, Clinton Morrison, Mikhail Forsell and Jonathan Codger.
Jonathan Codger?
Yeah.
No, that's pretty bleak. I mean, to be honest with you, it's going to get better with Newcastle with Hosselu up front, so...
Yes, that's a... Yeah, God, I'd be really worried if I was a Newcastle fan. I'd be very
sorry,
worried.
Newcastle.
Yeah. What else? Anything else in the news? It's been a quiet.
Talking of leading strikers, I read a stat the other day via a tweet from Hugh Davis. This is a stat from last season. Okay, Cambridge United's top scorer in all competitions last year didn't score a league goal for them after August the 11th.
After August the 11th?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So how many did he score before August 11th?
I don't know the numbers. I think it was something like I've read them, but I can't remember. I think it's he scored something like 7 goals before that time, and didn't score a league goal after that.
Bloody hell! That's in one way that's really impressive. In another way, it's really shocking.
Yeah, pretty shocking.
Yeah. Josh, the dream isn't over for us yet. As if we want to be professional footballers, so Nakamura just joined Muri.
Yes.
Joined the 50. Nakamura, who is 41, joined the 52-year-old Muri at Yokohama FC.
Oh, really?
Can you remember Nakamura from Celtic?
Of course I can. Yeah, of course. Yeah, lovely free kick on him, didn't he?
Yeah, still going. 41. So we've got 8 years? 8 years. Still do it.
Yeah, except he had a good basis of professional football behind him, so I don't have that. But
yeah, but
you never know.
How hard is it to get, really?
Yeah, everyone's trying it these days.
Yeah, exactly.
Robin van Persie will be on my screen next year. He's joined BT Sport.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting news. Yeah, interesting news.
It doesn't strike me as a strong personality. Like, he strikes me as really boring and arrogant, but
a bit like Michael Owen.
I don't know. I will update you on how he fares as a BT Sport pundit.
Yeah, because obviously I won't get it here, so I'm interested to know that one. Yeah, interested to know that.
Yeah.
The Scottish League Cup is underway, ridiculously early. The 13th of July.
Spurs players aren't back from pre-season yet, and they're already playing in a League Cup.
Yes, the Scottish League Cup, which I'm very confused about because there are reasonably big teams in it for Scotland, i.e. like Dundee United, Hearts, who I'm going to assume are still in the Premier League. I mean, my knowledge of Scottish football is quite poor, but I'm pretty sure Hearts are in the Premier League, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, the Scottish Premier League. So yeah, they drew 1-1 with Dundee United.
I said that so
League Cup.
I said that so confidently. I'm
You
like,
did.
yeah, they are. Of course they are. Yeah. I know they are.
They won on penalties 5-3 in a game that isn't pre-season in the Scottish League Cup, which is ridiculous. According to it's July. Like, yeah, I guess we're just sort of. Does it show how many players that play in Scotland didn't go to the World Cup? The fact that they can carry on this tournament starting now, it's very stupid, but yeah, interesting. And then
continuing with Scottish news.
Oh,
St Mirren have signed Yuri Djorkaeff's son.
Ooh, okay.
Oan. I'm OAN. I was not really familiar with that as a name, but yeah.
Own. Yeah.
On. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That'll be interesting.
Wow.
Love a footballer's son.
Oh, all right.
Sounds a bit weird.
Steady on, yeah. Who is the best? Who do you think is going to be of this sort of generation of age of youngsters coming through of sons of professional footballers? Who do you think?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay, but his son's really young. Like, hasn't even been signed to a club yet. I don't think, has he?
Oh,
I'm talking
yeah.
like your Enzo
Come on.
Zidanes at Madrid. You've got Djurkaeff at St Mirren. You've got who else is there? There's got to be some others that I know off the top of my head.
See, Timothy Weir has transferred.
Yeah, Timothy Weir.
Moved on.
Where's he gone? He was at PSG, then on loan at Celtic. Where's he gone?
I think he went to Lille. Was it?
Oh, okay. My Weir watch has gone off radar since he hasn't come back to Singapore. So I was so excited to go and see him for PSG. He was really good.
You've got some tickets to watch some football, haven't you, Dave?
I have. I've got tickets to go and see Man United Juventus and Spurs v Inter Milan, which will be very exciting because Man United have actually taken quite a strong team on tour. So,
that's a lie because you haven't got a strong team back at home either.
Thanks for that, Josh. Yeah, he has joined Lille. Timothy Weir has joined Lille.
That's my weekly reminder for you that Man United are shit.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you. Thanks very much for that. Yeah, what's the Spurs tour team like? Have you seen it, or has there been any?
We don't travel until Friday, so the 18th, I think. So yeah, Harry Kane. I think everybody maybe came back yesterday. Weirdly, they came back on a Friday. Not sure.
Okay.
Well, I suppose weekends and weekdays don't really make too much difference for footballers in pre-season.
Yeah, but and also
yet to be announced.
It'll be that thing. Do you reckon it'll be like? Is it teachers that come back on like a Friday and they just have like a training day? Where so do you reckon the players come back and on a Friday and it's literally actually just sitting around and being like, oh, what's your resting heart rate and how much fat have you put on, and not actual too much
it'd be
exercise.
all those little tests, isn't it?
Yeah.
It would be a few the jump test.
The jump is that the official name for it?
I know my stuff.
The jump test. Okay, right. That's enough of the news. Let's move on. On to what's next? The quiz. The quiz.
Hey! Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. It's quizzing time.
I can't wait.
Right.
If we get a chance when I'm back in the UK and we do this thing live on camera, I will carry on dancing like I dance on my own here. When you do that live on air.
I'm dancing at the same time as well. How do you dance?
I just do a little shoulder shimmy sort of thing, and then.
Really? My hands are going in the air like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh god.
And then I do a little point when you go. It's the quiz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in light of Tyrone Mings, the head stamper, I like to give him a nickname. He transferred for some silly money this week, 25 million, something like that. And I thought, God, he's got to be up there in the most expensive English players of all time. So I thought, oh, you know what? Who are the top 10 most expensive English players of all time? Dave, hit me.
Oh my word. Okay. Andy Carroll has got to be up there.
Wow, you've gone straight in with Andy Carroll. Free agent Andy Carroll. Yeah. Yes.
35 million. Where does he sit in the top 10?
Number 6.
Okay. Rio Ferdinand must still be up there then.
Number 5.
David Beckham.
Number 10.
Tyrone Mings. Did he actually make the list?
No.
Okay.
Don't be silly.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But the way you said it earlier, I thought it was going to be one of those where you give me an answer.
Oh, you hoped.
Yeah, I did. Raheem Sterling.
Raheem Sterling, top of the list, number 1.
Okay. Luke Shaw.
Yes, number 9.
Phil Jones. How much did we pay for Phil Jones?
Not Phil Jones.
No. Okay. It's getting tough now. Oh, number 2 must be really easy. Why do I feel like number 2 is a central midfielder?
Oh, you got a wrong feeling there. There's only there's 2 centre mids on the whole.
Okay.
team.
I mean, someone's going to be one of them's surely going to be absolutely ridiculous. Who is terrible? Oh, Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka, number 3.
Yeah. I don't know how I forgot about him. Hang on, number 3. That means I've got 2 number 3s. I've got Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka both at number 3. You're lying to me, Josh.
Oh, Luke Shaw's number 9. Sorry.
Number 9. Oh, maybe you said that and I just wrote it down wrong. Okay, so that gives me 1, 2, 3. That gives me 6. So we'll leave it there then. I'll come back for the next 4. Yeah.
All right.
Michael Owen.
Good
How much did he move to Real Madrid for? Or Newcastle?
No, it was
Was it a lot
It
less?
was like 15.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't
Okay.
much still. So you need 4, are you saying, do you?
Yeah, so I've got numbers 1, 3, 5, 6, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Works out for me.
All right then, good quiz.
All right,
That's a good
let's
quiz,
move
Josh.
it there.
I like that one.
It's accessible, isn't it?
It is.
You can get your teeth stuck into that one. You're not just racking your brain. You got some options in that head of yours.
It's
You're
also
not...
one that's making me thinking, oh, I should really know this, and now it's really winding me up that I don't know it, and that's a good quiz. Like, there's been some quiz questions where I'm like, I just have no idea, so I'm just going to throw names at Josh. And this one, I feel like I should know these all. I should know all of them, and I'm going to be very annoyed if I don't get all 10. But anyway.
Okay, we'll leave it there.
So, moving on then.
Right.
We touched on it before. Transfer news and rumours and confirmed deals.
Completed?
Yeah,
let's go completed transfers.
All right, I'll start. What the hell is happening at Aston Villa? They are.
Someone's got a little bit extra money, and they're like, "Oh, spend it," and you're like, "Oh, is that a wise deal?"
Is it Fulham Mark II? Is it a Fulham Mark II? Like spending money.
Well, I hadn't thought about that as a comparison, but
It's very similar.
I mean, I do think they're going to go the same way. I don't. Do I? Ooh, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the only thing I think the Villa might stay up, only because they've actually spent a lot of money on people they had on loan anyway. So the actual gelling of the new players isn't as bad. But
Yeah, because Fulham lost a lot of players. In fact,
Yeah.
funnily enough, Fulham lost Matt Targett on loan. He returned, and then they didn't replace him, and now Aston Villa have bought Matt Targett. So.
yeah. I mean, like, so this week
also-
they've obviously just agreed the £15 million deal for the Douglas Luiz, I think his name is, from Man City, who hasn't ever actually played for Man City, but is also Brazil under-23 captain. So you'd assume he's going to be pretty decent. And he's been on loan at Girona for the last 2 years in La Liga, playing for them.
Okay.
And they've signed Bjorn Engels, who is a Belgium under-21 defender. They are buying young, aren't they, Villa? It does look like they are buying some young players. I mean, Louise is 21, Engels is 24. How much is Tyrone Mings? I don't know how old he is.
How old? Yeah, he's going to be like kind of 25, something like that.
Yeah, and they've bought that Esri
Tops.
Konsa as well, Brentford, England under-21 centre-back, who didn't impress too well in the under-21s tournament. But yeah, Villa are splashing the cash. They're also looking to sign the best named Egyptian footballer ever, Trezeguet.
Absolutely.
That's who they're looking at.
Do you have fond memories of David Trezeguet?
David Trezeguet, yeah. It's mainly Juventus time, because he would have been when we still had Golazio on Channel 4, I think. Just as that was finishing, he would have been at Juventus. Yeah, I've got some.
I've often heard that players describe him as the best finisher they've ever. Like Henri described him as like the best finisher ever.
Wow. Okay. High praise. He was always pretty good. So it was always pretty good. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, Villa have been very, very busy. Let us know in the comments what do you think about. Is it a Fulham 2.0 or are Villa going to stay up? Actually, Josh, are we already split on something for next year? Then do you reckon they're going to go down, Villa?
I've yet to confirm in my head, but I think they'll be there. They'll be struggling down there because I can't see where the goal. They lost obviously Tammy Abraham, who got like 25 goals last year.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
true.
They've bought in Wesley Moraes, who I really don't think is going to cut the mustard.
I
That's
really want him to
22
do well
million.
because he was a beast on Football Manager.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he's going to be shocking. Actually.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we'll leave it. Yeah. Done deals then. What else you got in your locker?
Sticking around that sort of newly promoted feature, we'll go Sheffield United. New club transfer
What they
record,
got?
signing Callum Robinson from Preston North End. 24-year-old Republic of Ireland international. Undisclosed fee, but definitely beats their previous transfer record.
Yeah, I think it was around 8 million, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And he's been described as fitting in perfectly for what they want to do at Sheffield United, which is probably what any manager
Get
would
relegated.
say. Hey! So, yeah, I mean, it's not...
That's uninspiring.
It
Isn't
is.
I mean,
That's a good word to use. Yeah, that is uninspiring. It's not probably what you want to see as a Sheffield United fan, but I get you sort of got the two opposites, haven't you? Fulham, Aston Villa, sorry, are doing very similar to Fulham and buying quite a lot of new players in, whereas Sheffield United look like they're going to give it a go with the players that got them up, sort of thing. And it's sort of like, well, yeah, I can't see Sheffield United doing anything in the Premier League. I can see them coming incredibly close to Derby's record.
Can you? Okay.
Yeah, I can see Sheffield United.
Yeah, I'll see how
bottom.
it progresses. I need to get a kind of a good look at their squad because I didn't watch much from last year, but apparently they played a quite unique style, kind of overlapping centre backs. And,
Yes.
so I need to kind of give them a little once over before I fully comment on them. But yeah, it's been uninspiring transfer window for them. But I tell you what, transfer deal caught my eye, Dave.
Yeah.
And this is from a Spurs point of view. So a few years back, we had a goalkeeper on loan at us. Never made an appearance. Was on loan from Espanyol, and we didn't. He was on loan, didn't make an appearance, and we didn't sign him. It was like, okay, and that was Paulo Lopez, and he's just moved this week to Roma for 23 million. It just seems a bit of a strange turn of events.
That is a huge strange turn of events.
That's a big old goalkeeper signing. That's a lot of cash for a goalkeeper. Well, yeah, it is a lot of cash for a goalkeeper. But especially one with my experience with him is no appearances at Spurs. But he was a bit younger then, and he's obviously played a lot more now. And
where's he
and
signed
wouldn't
from?
have got a transfer like that if
For 23 million.
I think it was Espanyol again.
Oh,
I think he
Espanyol.
was still there.
Okay. I mean, who's Roma's first choice keeper?
You'd imagine it's going to be him now.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll rephrase the question. Who was Roma's first choice keeper?
Who was Roma's first choice keeper? Well, they must have had to replace Alisson, who got transferred out. Is it? Don't know off the top of my head.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, they've got Robin Olsen. Did he play? Yeah, Robin Olsen.
Yeah.
Swede.
Yeah. Fair enough.
No.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so is there anything else in the Premier League that's caught your eyes? Obviously, Spurs are going in for Arsenal's bid on the defender that you mentioned earlier, Saliba.
Yeah, but Arsenal, I think there was a plan to loan him back, and I'm not sure Spurs are really in the. Obviously, Spurs are loan back Jack Club. That was like an £8 million transfer. It'll be a big statement if Spurs can go, yeah, I'm going to splash 20 odd million and loan someone back. That's from not signing players to then splashing 20-30 million on a player and loaning him back. I don't think we'd do that. Whether that's a deal breaker for them or not.
Yeah, it's not very Daniel Levy, is it? That you can see him spending
No.
that much money and then loaning someone back straight away. Is there anything else in the Premier League that we've missed in terms of big transfers?
Tielemans was confirmed.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
But apparently turned down United as well.
yeah, but I could understand if he's settled in Leicester in terms of on the loan he had and he's enjoying working for Brendan Rodgers, then it's a bit of stability, isn't it? And it's,
Yeah.
I think it would be probably in his mind as a footballer, it would be easy to go to Leicester and carry on impressing and then get a move to, not saying a bigger club like United, but a bigger club in general, somewhere in Europe from Leicester. I think gives him.
Yeah, he's got a good thing going, isn't he? And
Yeah.
Leicester, I think, have got a good thing going, and it's the Foxes and the Wolves are hunting the top six.
Oh, see what you
Yeah.
did there? Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. You might be hungover, but that intellectualness is still there.
Oh yeah, shame that's with that word. Couple of Chinese transfers. Oh, I could murder a Chinese actually. So we've got Marko Arnautovic has gone to Shanghai SIPG, SIBG, as they like to call it in China.
Yeah. With the front three of Oscar, isn't it? Oscar, Hulk, and Arnautovic is now their front three.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible.
3 mercenaries. Yeah, and I tweeted this during the week. I love the emotion that West Ham showed in their statement. Arnautovic departs. Done. Yeah. And yeah, not many West Ham players tweeting going, "See you later, Marco. Loved you.
Yeah.
Miss you. I want to kiss you." Yeah.
I mean, that would be weird if they tweeted, "I want to kiss you," but
Yeah.
yeah, no, fair enough. Who else?
And then also, so this player was once a big thing, Milan, and I think he got a bad injury, and he just really struggled since El Shawari.
Oh yeah, Stefan El Shawari.
Yeah.
I remember. He used to play for Roma as well.
And he's joined Igalo and Freddie Guarin at Shanghai Shenhua.
Freddie Guarin is still playing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Football Manager favourite.
Free kicks 20, corners 20.
Yeah.
He was brilliant.
Long shot. Check out the video of he's got a long range strike, I think, for Inter Milan, and it is just, or maybe for Porto. It might be Porto actually. Oh my goodness, it is just ridiculous goal.
All right.
I'm not a big fan of long range shots, as you know, but that is a real thronker.
All right, I'll check that out. Definitely check that out. Any other news before we get on to one last big thing, obviously, to talk about?
Yeah. Burnley signed a couple of players.
Oh, this has gone under the radar.
So, yeah. So they have signed Jay Rodriguez back. He used to be at them. They've signed him back.
Yeah.
Good English player. Good, not an English name, so they're probably a little bit disgusted. Not more disgusted. Their next transfer, he's not English. They've signed Eric Peters from Stoke. God.
Austrian.
They've been branching out.
Austrian Eric Peters, yeah. Is he Austrian?
Yeah, I can't believe him.
Yeah.
He's Dutch, Dave. But...
Is he Dutch? I thought he was Austrian.
Yeah.
Oh, why did I think he was Austrian? I don't know. Maybe I've had too many to drink.
Oh
no, wait.
However.
That's you. Yes. Sorry, Arnautovic, yeah.
Yeah.
He's Austrian.
So, yeah, Burnley, I mean... Burnley sticking to what they know, aren't they, really?
Yeah. I mean...
If you've previously played for Stoke, it's not... I mean, actually, they signed Peter Crouch from Stoke, didn't they? And then,
yep.
So, similar style of football, and then signing a player they used to have. So, again, Burnley not exactly different from the norm there.
I really wouldn't be too upset if Burnley got relegated. I wouldn't miss them. I know you've got family ties.
Yeah,
Burnley,
but I'm not against them getting relegated because it just doesn't. They do seem like a championship club overall.
Yeah, I think so. And it's the thing with Burnley is I get the sort of feeling of what's the point? What's the point of Burnley?
Oh, blimey!
Like in the Premier League, I don't like teams in the Premier League that just settle for mid-table and settle for avoiding relegation year upon year. It's like Stoke under Tony Pulis. Like, when they were just happy to be in the Premier League. It's like you've got to be aiming for something. Like, even if it's like a 5-year plan, have something in mind. But yeah, I get that feeling. But obviously, then go on.
Fabian Delph. Seen Fabian Delph?
No, what's happened to Fabian Delph?
He's rumoured to be on the cusp of a transfer. So, if you haven't seen this is quite good then. So, he is on the cusp of a transfer to a Premier League club. Can you guess the club and the fee?
Aston Villa. And 10 million.
Oh, no, Everton, 8 million.
Oh, okay. Everton. I thought he would have been snapped up by Aston Villa.
Do you not think that's quite
cheap?
Cheap.
Yes. I think that's very cheap for someone that's.
That's where that comes with a territory of.
But
it comes with a territory of a kind of the big spenders, the oil companies, the oil clubs. Sorry, like PSG sell players for cheap, Man City sell players because they just basically stock. Overstock on players that they don't really want. I mean, like, all right, let's get rid of him. So yeah, I can see. It's weird, but I think it's still going to be on like 167 grand a week, which is absurd.
That is
absurd. I think we're not going to Villa is probably because he wants to. Everton are a step above, obviously.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't want to potentially be in a relegation battle.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Yeah. So, and then let's finish up the transfer news and stuff with let's chat about Antoine Griezmann. Is it done? Isn't it done? Is there a lawsuit? Is there no lawsuit? It's fucking hell.
There's rumour has it that they've got proof the contract was signed in March rather than July, and his 120 million euro release clause was not 120 million in March. It was 200 million. So there's rumour they don't feel they've got the full money. It's like, oh my god, can we not just move on from this? I thought the saga was done with. Like, okay, Comunicado Officiale done. Now it's like, oh, it's not quite done. Yeah,
it's very. It's just a bit strange. The whole situation is just strange, and it's sort of like, is this going to be the one that sort of goes on all throughout the season? Through the summer, and then it'll get to the point where the Spanish transfer window is ending, and everyone will be like, yeah, all right, it will just be the deal that was agreed on the 11th of July or whatever day it was agreed, where they just pay his buyout clause. But it's going to be interesting until it gets boring. That's the thing, and it's getting to that point. I mean, Griezmann's been a bit of a twat about it all, hasn't he? When he did his video last year about the decision that he was going to stay, and then it's coming out before any deal was even done to say, well, I'm definitely leaving the club. And it just, in all of this, I think Griezmann comes off the worst. So, yeah, I don't know.
But the bit I'm taking away from it is that, well, not for, but part of it is Atletico Madrid are in such a transition year, aren't they?
Yes.
So Atletico Madrid have outs include Griezmann, Lucas Hernandez, Rodri, Diego Godin, Juan Fran. I mean, they played a lot of minutes. I mean, Griezmann played 37 games. Rodrigo played 32 games. Godin played 28 games. It's not like Juan Fran played 18 games. Lucas Hernandez played 13 games. It's like we talk about this at each transfer window. Is like the squad churn, don't we? That's a lot of players lost, and obviously they've replaced Griezmann with João Felix, who's played one season of professional football.
Yeah.
And Marcus Llorente's coming for Rodri. It's a real transition year for them. It'll be interesting to see if they can maintain their place at the top end of the table, because it's difficult to move on from such situations as this. It's
very strange to see a club like Atletico Madrid going through this phase as well, because you never really hear of them doing this sort of the wholesale changes, I guess is a way to describe it.
Well, you never really want it as a club. You want it just to be a little bit time after time after time, rather than going right, all out, all in, because it's unsettling.
Yeah, very true. So,
and a similar thing with Bayern Munich, to be honest with you. Bayern Munich obviously losing Robben and Ribéry and Hummels and Rafinha. I mean, they were still light, and they've replaced them obviously with Atletico Madrid's Lucas Hernandez has come in and Pavard's come in, but they are so light on players at Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a worrying time for them, because they are very light in their squad, because they needed to replace their two ageing wimmers, Robbery, years back really, and Kingsley Coman's in but injury prone, and they really need to step up and get some bodies in, because maybe the tide's turning. Maybe Dortmund might have a better chance of it next year.
Yeah. Very true. Very, very true. I mean, in terms of, I don't like the phrase, winning the transfer window. Do you reckon there's any one club that's done the best out of everybody in the Premier League so far? It's quite early doors, but do you reckon anyone's got business done early enough and has impressed you, or?
No, not. I mean, especially, I think it's funny to say, but I think Chelsea have done alright. I mean, they've lost Hazard, but they've actually signed. They've got two players in. Pulisic was signed earlier, but Pulisic's come in and Kovacic has come in. It's like, for a club who's actually under a transfer ban, they've actually done all right with that. And in appointing Frank Lampard, and they've got the youth players now, I think you would expect them to be much lower on the list of being a transfer ban. You thought, they'd be like bottom of the list basically, but they've not actually done too bad, because you could go a lot worse. They've got a couple of bodies in, and they've got a lot to work with. So I think they've fared better than I thought they would do.
Okay, and then the flip side, who's not done as well as, or not done as much business, or not transferred in or out as much?
Arsenal. They really need to pull a finger out and do something, because they're stagnating, aren't they?
They are, and it's stagnation with revolution, it seems, in the ranks with this thing with Koscielny.
Yeah.
So, which is never a good mix at all. But have you got any other transfer news? I mean, this episode of the pod will probably be a little bit shorter than the recent ones we put out, because it's been quite a quiet week in terms of stuff that's gone on, because clubs have just started to go on pre-season tours and things like that. So, have you any other transfer news you want to touch on, or we'll move on to...
A couple of rumours that I like the look of. So, Gonzalo Higuain was linked with West Ham during a week, which I imagine he was pretty upset about.
And I imagine won't happen.
Yeah, it won't happen. West Ham do love a ageing
Argentine,
and was just a striker who's past it. Diego Costa was linked to Wolves.
Yeah, that's a very interesting one. That's, a bit of a Jorge Mendes link, isn't it? Again.
Yeah, but and he had a very poor season with Atletico Madrid, to be honest with you. But I can't see him come back to England. He seemed to be held against his will here. Really, he seemed like he wanted to go back quite soon, didn't he?
Yeah, isn't it? Everton, I think, have been linked with him as well, to see what's happening. I don't know which team he would fit better. Probably Everton, but I think he'd probably link up with Wolves slightly better in terms of nationality and language and things like that. But that'd be interesting. Anything else?
I don't know. Is it a sign of how far United have dropped that Lamina from Southampton, who I quite like as a player? I think he's a good centre mid. He's a good dribbler of the ball. He's formerly at Juventus, but he has been linked as a centre mid for United. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I did see that. I don't think it's The thing is with Lamina, and again, I can only watch highlights over here because if I choose to watch a game, it's generally not going to be the Southampton games. But
Yeah.
like the thing with Lamina is that when he plays well, he looks really, really good. But when he doesn't play well, he looks like he brings the whole team down, a bit like Pogba at United. And that would be my concern. I don't know how serious those rumours are. I don't. I'm taking it with a pinch of salt, a bit like the Sean Longstaff one. Like, I don't actually know how.
Yeah.
I reckon we made an inquiry about Sean Longstaff. I don't think it got as serious as all the press were making out, and I don't. Lamine is just a bit too left field for me. If it happens, then it happens. But I'm not taking that as an accurate rumour at the moment. I think it will die down. But you never know. You never know with Ed Woodward and the club. So, yeah. You just made me depressed about Man United's transfer news.
Oh, it is my weekly job.
I know. Is there any?
All I have to do is mention Manchester United when you get thinking like, oh god.
Yeah. Other than the defender Saliba, where you're rivaling Arsenal, any other Spurs news in terms of transfers?
The same one's been lingering for about a week now. And the old in the nose has said, it's set to be complete. So Dani Ceballos, Dani Olmo, Dani Alves, lovely Danny's. Lo Celso, all have been kind of linked for a while now, and you'd have thought if we're going to sign anyone immediately, they'd want to get it done in the next week so they can go on tour with us.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can see maybe one player coming in the next week.
Okay. And do you think
Not sure who, but yeah.
And then what about Christian Eriksen? Do you reckon he's going to stay? Is he going to go?
I think Spurs probably have resigned themselves and probably making plans to lose him. With all these players being linked in, you thought, well, they're maybe wanting to cash in on him. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him go, but I'm really not sure who wants him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, we'll leave the transfer news there for this week with the rumours. If you've got anything that you think we've missed and you want us to discuss next week, please let us know down below. But you know what time it is, Josh?
I do.
I got a wiki file. Here comes a wiki file. I got a wiki file for you. Hey! Right, I've just sent one over to you lovely, lovely Joshua. I've called you lovely quite a lot on this podcast. That's very strange.
Oh,
but
trying to make me feel better.
Yeah, exactly. So you have a player in front of your eyes. Please say what you see. And if you see it, say it.
I see a player who started their career in France. He's a bit of a mercenary, isn't he? 04-05, Le Havre, 29 appearances, 0 goals. Moves then to Chelsea. For a couple of years he spends at Chelsea, playing only 13 times. But likes London, so he moves across to North London to play for Arsenal, but only plays for them 7 times. Then he goes, you know what, I don't like the big city, I'm going down to the coast. And he goes to Portsmouth for a year and plays 24 times, scoring a single goal. But the coast there isn't sunny enough, so he goes, I like the sun, I'm going to Madrid, Real Madrid in fact. And this is where he kind of really plays, this is where he's played most of his league games actually. 87 appearances for Real Madrid, scoring 1 goal. He then follows the temporary richness of Anzi Mashakalaka.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Played 18 times, and that was a weird time, wasn't it? With Angie, they had Samuel Eto'o.
Yeah, Roberto Carlos was assistant manager. Or
Roberto Carlos might have been there, yeah. And then the money ran out, and was that the club that they couldn't play their Champions League games at home or something?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
But he liked Russia, maybe the money of Russia, and they moved across to Moscow. So he said Moscow. And he went to and played 17 games, scoring 1 goal. But he's French. We'll never forget he's French. And he went back to France, down to south of France, where my grandparents are from, and went to Marseille, playing 37 times, scoring 1 goal. And then he gave up a little bit and went to Al Jazeera and read the news. Played 5 times, scoring 0 goals. Then Paris Saint-Germain must have thought, you know what? We need an extra body. Let's sign this guy on a free, I imagine. And he played 13 times for PSG, scoring 0 goals, leaving him with 250 league appearances, 4 goals. Now, I know who this is, and I've always quite liked him as a player.
Has it
Didn't score
shocked?
enough goals. I mean,
Has it shocked you to see how little he actually played in his career, like at all those
yeah,
clubs?
and because he was a bit of a mercenary, wasn't he? He followed money. I think he pretty much, if someone was interested in him, it seems like he went there. He going,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'll move on. Yeah, I'm off. Yeah, and but he always impressed me when I saw him.
Who is it then,
Was
Josh?
he part? Was that 0809 part of the FA Cup winning
It
side?
was. It was. Yeah. It was either the cup winning or the time they got to the final and lost. It was one of the two.
Yeah.
Can't remember which one. Who is
But
it then?
the player in question is Lassana Diarra.
It
or
is.
Lass,
It is
sometimes,
indeed
yeah.
Lassana Diarra. Yeah. And any fond memories other than the Portsmouth Cup final or Cup, loss final?
No, I mean he was a tidy player. Received the ball well from the defenders and quite a good player in strong of attack. Also deputised at right back a few times, if I remember correctly. But I'm surprised, because he was technically quite solid, but only scoring 4 goals. I suppose his position didn't really allow him to contribute more, but it's quite surprising. But,
Yeah.
I reckon he will look back and think I probably should have stayed at one club a bit longer. He'll look back and go, that was a good time there, and I probably should have stayed a bit longer. But
I mean,
is he retired now, Dave?
He's
not,
his last season was last season. He retired from PSG this summer.
Oh, okay.
So I can't imagine there's many people that have done the Portsmouth to Real Madrid transfer move. That's quite a strange one.
Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember when it happened, and it was up there with when Thomas Gravesen moved from Everton to Real Madrid. I can remember getting quite a lot of similarities with that. But I came across this because I was reading a very interesting article about players that you forgot who played for Arsenal. It was on Planet Football, and he was one of them. And I was like, oh yeah, he played for Arsenal. And then I looked at his wiki file, and I was like, fucking hell, yeah, he played a very minimal amount of games actually in the Premier League, but had that lasting impact for Portsmouth. I think that's where he did his biggest danger.
Quite big money, if I remember correctly, from Real Madrid signed him for.
Yeah, it was pretty damn big. Yeah, for the time, it was like 20 million, I think, 25 million, something like that, around about then.
I think he was at I might be misremembering, but I think he was at Real Madrid at the same time that they had Mohamed Diarra as well. So it was double Diarra.
Yes.
Remember Mamadou Diarra?
Mamadou Diarra, yeah.
I think it was Mali.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah,
He was a beast.
He was a beast of a player, wasn't he? Yeah.
He was like the complete opposite of Lassana Diarra, because Lassana Diarra is quite small, and Mohamed Diarra was a big sort of tank sort of guy, big shoulders, tall.
Yeah.
Very much an athlete. Yeah. So very interesting. But well done, Josh. Well done. I just thought I'd throw that one in there because I was reading an article and he popped up about it. It was a very interesting article actually. Lots of people that I'd forgotten that had at one point played for Arsenal. Seb Larsson. Can you remember Seb Larsson played for Arsenal?
Yeah, he started there. Yeah, he started there. Yeah, I think he's dropped down league. Yeah, he was always a free kick specialist, wasn't he?
He was.
Seb Larsson.
Yeah, I just remember his time at Birmingham. Really.
Yeah. Yeah, similar to I meant to transfer at the same time because Nicholas Bentner, obviously Arsenal, then went to Birmingham as well.
So, but yeah, so that's the end of the wiki files. Well done, Joshua, for getting that one right. And I think next up is quiz answers, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quiz answers. So I got my one right. Can Dave complete the set? So this week's quiz, we asked. We being me, asked Dave to name the top 10 most expensive English players of all time, and Dave has so far named 6. He has 4 left to name. Who have you named so far, Dave?
I've got Raheem Sterling, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Rio Ferdinand, Andy Carroll, Luke Shaw, and David Beckham.
Correct, right.
Now I have
you got on? You
4
got
more names written down. I do have 4 more names, and I'll go in the order that I wrote them down. Wayne Rooney.
Okay. No.
Damn. Okay, I couldn't remember if he was slightly less, or slightly more than David Beckham. It must be slightly less. Okay, the next one I know is definitely in there. Josh Stones? No, that's a singer. John Stones.
John Stones, yes. Josh Stone was denied entry to Iran recently.
We covered this previously in a podcast, I think.
John Stones, yeah, he's number 2 on the list.
Okay, good. And then I'm going to go for the ex-Spurs right back Kyle Walker.
Correct, yes. 4th on the list. Manchester City signing big money for English players.
I've gone for a one that I wasn't too sure about next in Oxlade-Chamberlain from Arsenal to Liverpool.
Oh, correct.
Yeah.
Number 7. 34 million. You have one player left.
Oh man, so I'm missing
the rogue name on the list.
Number 8. Okay, rogue name. Can I have a position, please, Joshua?
Centre mid.
Oh god. Is it someone that's he has a Premier League winners medal?
He does have a Premier League winners medal.
And he hasn't really played much football since he won that medal.
He hasn't really played much since he won that medal.
Is it Daniel Drinkwater?
It is Daniel Noel Drinkwater.
How much did he move for?
34
million. Bloody hell. That is insane.
Yep.
That is ridiculous. Is he going to get a look in under Frank? Do you reckon?
Apparently, Frank said he's back in contention.
Well, yeah, but he has to say that, doesn't he? Because he can't sign anyone.
Yeah,
So.
Frank's one of those who just kind of, he's a bit smooth operator, isn't he? Frank, he's a bit nicer, a bit kinder, it seems.
Bloody hell. Yeah. Well, there you go. I did it.
Well done. A successful round today. I mean, I've managed to complete the podcast without vomiting, and I got the wiki files.
Yeah.
You've got all 10 answers, although prompted on one, so I'm not a little bit.
I'd still take 9 out of 10. I'd still take 9 out of 10. That's fine.
Yeah.
So.
Well done, Dave.
Yeah, a successful quizzing podcast. I like that one. Yeah, I like that one. So next week, Josh, depending on when we record, I'll either be just about to go out to a football match, or I'll have one football match to report on. So. Live
nice.
from Singapore, yeah. So that'll be very interesting. We'll have a lot more transfer news and rumours. I'm sure there'll be new rumours made up by the press, based on nothing but hard facts and journalism. I'm sure that's how most transfer rumours seem to play out. So, and we'll be back with the Wiki Files, and we'll have another quiz from Josh to myself. If you want to listen to us, you can find us on Twitter at Football Talk. But remember,
there's no A in football.
There's no A in football. You can find us on Spotify, SoundCloud and YouTube just by searching Football Talk, or if that's not too specific enough for you, search for Michael Ballsack and you will find us. But I think, Josh, that's us done for another week.
Absolutely.
So a nice short and sweet one this week, not too much to report on, but thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week where Josh probably won't be hungover, but I might be. So we'll speak to you then, and for now, we're out. Cheers.